Lydia Zedal, MTK TV backstage at MTK Fight Night Belfast at the end of a very successful night with Jamie Moore. How are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Deflated for Conrad. It was always a tough fight for him. You know, obviously the first result didn't go our way. He didn't box great last time. He'd not had a great camp in the lead up to the first fight. So, you know, we always knew it was a difficult fight, the rematch, but we changed the tactics slightly. He came into camp, you know, sparred much better, had a better 12 weeks, but you know, Luke was just a better man in the night. So disappointing, but you know, we got a win with Stephen Ward, and he moves on to better things. But yeah, it's sort of a up and down night.
Is it hard for you, because obviously you have the experience of being in there, you know, but you have to stay outside the ring and there's only so much that you can do, and ultimately he's in there on his own, but you seem extremely deflated, so you're obviously wearing that because it's a teammate, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you go through the ups and downs together. I've said it many times, the next best thing to winning a fight yourself is being involved in helping someone else win. So when you lose together. It's a team effort. So yeah, I'm gutted. I honestly believed he could pull it off tonight, and you know, early on the tactics were to try and get Luke frustrated, getting coming forward, not sort of walking into the shots, and then making him pay. And he wasn't making him pay. And by the time we got into the fourth round, I said, listen, you're doing the first part right, you're not getting the second part right, we've got to change it up, otherwise the fight's going to run away from us. So, you know, the cut didn't help. It was a bad cut in the second round, it hampered his vision. But listen, like I say, at the end of the day, Conrad came better than he did the first fight, but so did Luke. So you got to take your hat off to him.
In these moments, you know, obviously he's inside getting stitched up. What can you say to him, or what are the words that you say to him when he's this deflated and this upset? You know.
Yeah, you know, it's a difficult one, but I've been there myself, and I sort of remember, you know, for instance, when I lost to Ryan Rhodes, you have to put it into perspective, and what I've just been saying to Conrad is, listen, I know you're disappointed, but at the end of the day, it's just boxing. Yeah. You know, these worst things, what could happen to you, these worst things, what could happen to your family. I'm gutted, and you are, but, you know, put it into perspective, it's a boxing match, and you lost to the better guy in the night, and that's it.
And in terms of the process going forward, then, will you obviously, you go back to the drawing board, you look at where he went wrong, but do you take positives out of the performance tonight?
It's difficult to take positives, but you know, I've not sort of found anything out about Conrad what I didn't already know. I knew he was tough, I knew he was game, I knew he had a big heart, but I didn't want to see that tonight. I wanted him to show his boxing attributes, and like I say, he's been showing it in the gym, but he just couldn't pull the trigger at the right time tonight. And you know, you have to go back and analyse it and look why. But you know, that's for another time and day.
Absolutely. So when I was in the dressing room earlier on, and I was taking like the little videos, they were for our Instagram, you know, so like our viewers are like watching them, they're getting all the backstage action. There was loads of messages, people saying, make sure you get an interview with Jamie, like young kids, young boxers that were like, oh, I'll definitely get him on. What's that like, knowing that there's kids out there that look up to you?
I think it's great. I think, you know, thinking about when I was a young kid starting out in boxing, I met Nigel Benn, who was my big hero. I met him in Tenerife when I was 14, just before the Eubank rematch, and he sort of made a little bit of an effort and had a bit of a conversation. I watched him train for 10 days, so that stuck with me forever. Yeah. So anytime any kids or anyone, you know, teenagers come up and ask for a picture, or I think I always try and make a bit of an effort, because I always remember how I felt when he did that. So, you know, it's good to have a positive impact, and there's so much problems going on in society, especially around Manchester, Salford, London. You know, we've got a lot of knife crime and stuff like that. Boxing's one of the key ingredients, I believe. If you bring it back into schools, it'll teach a lot. It's never going to stop that problem, but it'll go a long way to curbing it and stopping it from getting worse. So yeah, I feel proud that kids want to hear me talk, and stay out of trouble, kids.
Well, I mean, they will watch this. Do you have a voice for young kids that are coming up? Because a lot of our viewers, they are young, they're starting training, whether it be any kind of combat sports, and they're hoping to go amateur or professional.
Exactly. You know? It doesn't have to be boxing. It can be not even a sport. My advice to any kid sort of try to find their feet or find a path in life, especially by the time you get to 13, 14, 15, you can sort of start to gauge where you're going to go. And my big advice is always, whatever you love to do, there's always a way to get paid to do that or do it for a living. There's always a way. So a wise Irishman once said to me, find something you love to do, find a way to get paid for it, you'll never work a day in your life. And I know that's what I do, because I fell in love with boxing when I was about 12. I started when I was 14, and then I do it as a living. It's like, how do I get paid to do this? I love what I'm doing. Obviously, it's disappointing on nights like this with Conrad, but you know, we had so many highs last year, 2 or 3 lows, but you know, putting it into perspective, we had a fantastic year, and you've got to take the lows with the highs because it's part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, brilliant advice. Great advice, Jamie, to leave our interview on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you again, and it will be positive, more positive the next time, right?
Listen, I'm always positive. You've got to try and find the positives in every situation, and you know, sometimes it's difficult, but you know, like I say, Conrad's safe, and there's bigger problems going on in the world. It's just boxing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Jamie Moore for MMA Connect TV.